Good morning, guys. How you guys doing today? So I've been talking a lot about doing some plaster clothing in this region and this region, and I like to tell you the first two layers are done. So we do have plaster cloth in this region, and we started here. I can tell you this one here because I am going to be putting water down here. And when I mean water, some people are going like, you're going to put water on your layout? Okay, so it's called Realistic Water. It's made by Woodland Scenic. This was not my first choice, but it was one of the choices that I was looking at. The thing is, I got this on sale. This stuff I've never seen on sale, so when I saw it finally on sale, I picked up several different products of it called Water Effects. And this makes all your little rapids and waves and waterfalls. Okay, so I put several layers of plaster cloth in here. It's still pretty wet, it's drying. I did kind of get the outsides of, let's back off a little bit, of these rock areas. Because I am going to be putting portals in here. So this area has to be really carefully done, and on the other side introduced a hole into the area, and like I said, because I'm going to be putting this product here in there, it will find a hole in this thing and leak through it. So I was getting some information on better ways to waterproof it, not with just the plaster cloth, because the plaster cloth has little holes in it, and it doesn't necessarily work the best. So I also got some of this stuff. It's called Flex Paste. This isn't cheap. I paid like $14 for this thing, and what a ripoff. But if it works, I think it'll be worth it. It says it's flexible, non-cracking model paste used to create a hard surface. It says it waterproofs areas, so it basically will waterproof anything. I've tried it on some stuff, and it does make it hard and very rubbery-like almost. So I'm going to probably put a lot of that in my water area. I will put another layer of plaster cloth on it, and then I'll put, they suggest on the back of this bottle 3 layers of this stuff. So I'm going to put that all around the areas where I think the water is going to be at, or this product, of course, which is more of an acrylic. It's some kind of acrylic type thing. This side is the first side I put in, and I can tell you by looking at it, it's a little bumpy in there. A lot of it's actually already hard. You can see there's like some bumps here, so I'm definitely going to have to get in there with a sander and sand it out a little bit more. There definitely is some bumps and lumps in there. But this is going to be a road, and we're just going to put another plaster-like product right over the top of it called Smooth It, and it's going to make a road. But yeah, so the plaster cloth is in. This side I don't think we'll need too many more layers, but like I said, this other side over here, and let's take a different angle of it. We do a plaster cloth along here and some down here, but there's little corners of this edge and around here where, like I said, those little portals that I have that are made out of plaster themselves, these things, have to fit in there. And you know, they got a thickness to them. So I put down some of this paving tape, and then I used a product called Smooth It, which is already away in my cabinet. So that is in here. There are strips of it along here, and then I put some 1-inch masking tape all the way around. Because I am putting the tunnel here, this is that tunnel section, I do have to do a section of road. I can tell you that because I do have a slight incline on here, I did mix the stuff really thick, so it would, like they do suggest on the package, if you're going to go up an incline. But it was real hard to get in here because between this area and this area, which were already glued down, the width of the road is the width of the space. And the spreader didn't work very good, so I had to come up with, I ended up using a foam brush, those little disposable ones that you throw away. So I put Flex Paste all in here, up in here, along here, around over here, and a little bit out over here. I put, so far, 2 coats on. They suggest 3 coats. It looks like most of the pinholes that were there, because I am going to be putting in like a realistic water type liquid that self-levels and will find a hole. So I think I still see 1 or 2 pinholes right in this area, so I'm going to have to probably go over with another layer yet. Paste. It dries really good. I got to say, when I put the plaster cloth on, it was a little bumpy and stuff. I did not sand it over here because I kind of like the texture. But once I put the flex paste on, it's nice and smooth. And a lot of the areas, and I did put like 2 or 3 layers of plaster cloth over here. So there it is, that's the road. It did crack a little at the end here when I was pulling off the masking tape that I had around it. What I did was I had the paving tape around at the top, and then I had some more masking tape. I knew that I wasn't going to go all the way up to the plaster cloth here because I need to continue on, so I'll just take an X-Acto knife and cut it so it's nice and flush up there. But it all turned out pretty good, it looks like, and I'm more than happy with the outcome of this so far. This is the section where we're going to be putting this tunnel in here. So I painted just along the edges. I also put in the road using the Woodland Scenics Smooth It. So this section over here, if you remember right, I said I plaster clothed it and then I added flex paste to it. Well, the plaster cloth caused it so that the portals itself would not go in. These portals here didn't fit. They fit now, and I'll tell you why. I used my foam knife, which is this X-Acto knife with this 2.5-inch blade. I had to cut and make some more cuts and whatnot. I had to take out my water dam thing here. I'll have to put one in later when I'm actually pouring the water. Earth color liquid pigments, and I ended up using the concrete, the stone gray, and the black. So I primarily painted on a concrete color, and it didn't really turn out very good at first. I had to put about like 8 or 9 layers of 1 part paint, the 16 parts water, and I had to probably put 16 layers of the concrete on there. Then I put a little of the stone gray just to darken it up a bit, and then I threw a black wash on it. This is the one that turned out the best. This will probably be the one that's going to be facing the inside of the layout. This one here went a little dark once I put the black wash on it. A little darker, but I still like it. So I pinned in this piece of foam just to hold it so it wouldn't pop out. I did also add some masking tape. There we go. And I'm hoping that this glue keeps in and this masking tape doesn't take any of the paint off. I hope it looks pretty good. And hopefully we can do a close-up later of it. I hope this does work. Okay, so I'm going to take this masking tape off without... It's supposed to be a painting masking tape where it's not supposed to pull anything off, but I saw it did pull a little off the inside area. That all looks pretty good there. But this here is the portal from this side, and it's painted, and it looks like it's glued in there pretty good. I did have to paint around the edges because I didn't know how much of it will end up showing up. I did not paint the riverbed yet because I want to wait till I do all the rest of the riverbed. Okay, so on this side, this is the opposite side of that same tunnel. That's about as far as I can get in with the zoom. So I want to see what this looks like. So I wedged in this piece of foam here. You know, and since my last video, before I actually started painting this and before I put this tunnel portal in, I actually kind of trimmed these contours of these rock cliffs back a little bit. I noticed the tunnel portal didn't fit very good. It was very, very, very close. So instead, I decided to just trim these off and give me some more room. So I did that, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. So I think this is the only piece of tape on there. It is. So I glued those in with just some Woodland Scenic glue. They say that they suggest using it when you're doing your water areas. So, and I had some that I got free. Okay, here's a top-down view of that same area. And so like right in these corners here, part of the portal here and over here do show just very slightly of the actual portal thing. So I'm gonna put like a couple of plaster cloth and I'm gonna wad them up into like little balls, kind of look like spitballs, I guess. And I'm gonna stick them in there, just in these corners. And then this paint that I put inside, I'm just gonna put some over on these edges. And it's just like a very small section. You probably won't even see it, but I know it's there, and I just want to make sure that it looks good. Besides that, like I said, all I have to do is put that cover on that I made, and now I don't know where I did with it. Oh, it's over here. I just have to put that in on top. And Scott can't really focus on it. Oh, there it goes. You're not going to see that part. You're not going to really see too much of it, but if you're at the right angle looking at it when I have it up on because right now I'm working on this on a table that's only 32 inches tall, but this layout's going to be on a table that's much taller, so you could potentially see in there if you looked in there. So I want to make sure that it looks good. First off, I got this ruler. It's a flexible ruler, and it's a scale ruler, and it works for HO, N, and O scale, and it has scale rulers for each one of them. But it's a flexible ruler. And then I also bought a yellow and a white road striping pen. These weren't very cheap at all. I got this thing because all my roads have curves in them. You know, there is a slight curve in this section. But here's the one thing it doesn't do. It only bends sideways for curves, but my roads also have dips and hills in them. So my road here goes up like this, plus curves at the same time, and this won't actually compensate for that. It leaves a big gap. So I could not actually use this for more than getting the dimensions, and then what I had to do is cut out a little template and cut it in half and tape it down and kind of follow the guide. I got one line in so far. I've tried it a couple times. I've been having problems with these marker pens because they don't flow very good, and also they like to be extremely up and down like this. So you have to get in these areas and you have to actually hold it up and down. You can't hold it like a regular pen like this. You have to hold it straight up and down. So I've had some problems with that. Like I said, I want to put a double stripe in there, but I have had to do it about 18 times. I keep repainting this section to get rid of the, I didn't get the remover stuff. I should have. If you ever get these pens, get the remover stuff, because yes, it doesn't work necessarily perfect the first few times out. So I had to repaint this section so many times, it's unbelievable. Trying to get the double yellow line to work perfect. You know, this is a N-scale country street or country road. They suggest on the back of this paving tape that in N scale should be 20 scale feet, so it's 1 1/2 inch. I can tell you that is tiny. That is very tiny to try to get a double yellow line in that space. It's almost like this is a country road, but it's almost like I wish I would have went with a city road because I would have had more space to accommodate the road strip. Okay, so I finally got the double yellow line inside this road, and I have just added some glue to it. I've been using this. It's a scenic glue. I don't think it's going to focus on it. It's a Woodland Scenic glue. It came in a kit, so it's a little container of it. That was. I used this on the other tunnel portal, and it worked great. So I put it on this plastic portal, and I put a little glue on there, and so I'm going to use that since it worked on the other one really good. So here's the portal from this side. And like I said, it's gluing. I'm gluing it in. I'm sure it's going to take several hours. I'm hoping that should be enough to glue it in, considering that glue worked tremendously with the plaster portals I had. So I think it should work good with the plastic version.